Dreams, and Feelings.
Welcome to Mike and Adam's Dreams and Feelings.
Wow! Who are you?
I'm Mike. And who are you?
I'm Adam.
Oh my gosh.
And this is our podcast.
Here we are.
Oh, what episode number?
47.
Are you asking or telling?
I'm asking.
Asking?
Asking.
Where can you find us, Mike, on the internets?
Facebook, we have a page. Mike and Adam's Dreams and Feelings.
Check us out.
Archive.org, we have a page. Mike and Adam's Dreams and Feelings.
Check us out.
YouTube, we have a page, which is probably how you're listening to us.
Check it out.
Mike and Adam's Dreams and Feelings.
That's what I'm talking about.
And you should subscribe.
It's true. And Mike, do we have something exciting happening in a couple weeks?
Oh my gosh, we do.
What's happening, Mike?
Adam and I are going to be with two other friends as we do an improv show.
They were both on our podcast before.
Yes.
My brother Dan.
And Andre
Shaw, my housemate.
Yep. We're going to be doing an improvised night of comedy at Journey Church.
It's true.
Where we're going to be, it's called College Night.
A night to remember.
A night to remember. Best days of our life.
It's true.
Mm-hmm. So it's going to be hilarious.
It's going to be great. I'm gonna make my debut. I'm gonna, I started school as the, shy, bookish caterpillar, and I'm gonna blossom into a hilarious and wonderful butterfly.
And me, I'm just the school jock.
Yeah.
Dirk Johnson.
Yeah.
Who's shooting books out of nerds' hands.
But through one Saturday detention,
I learned to love again.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. It's going to be great. There's going to be light refreshments and heavy laughter.
Heavy laughter. Hold the sadness.
Exactly. So if you want to see us perform and you live in Rochester or within the, an hour's drive of us, we would love for you to come out. We would love to meet you, talk to you about our podcast, and more importantly, experience a night
of magic.
Experience of magic.
Yeah. Yep. And it's all for the purpose of talking about our ministry, which is Campus Ambassadors.
It's true.
Where we both work at colleges, giving the gospel to students that are going to college.
Right, exactly. And
yeah.
And showing that, Christianity isn't your dad's Christianity, where we sit and read out of hymnals all the time. And well, that's an aspect of it, but
some people prefer the hymnals.
Exactly.
And they're younger than me.
It's true. But we wanna show you that improv and comedy have a place in the kingdom of God, and we definitely want to glorify Him through that, and we want to have fun with you guys too, because what's better than sharing some laughter with
laughter plural. There better be more than one laugh.
Exactly. With our brothers and sisters and our friends. So we're excited.
Yeah. Which brings us to the next part of our podcast.
It's true.
Adam, you're still tinkering with that machine.
It's true. I've always gotten to the point where we can maybe reach into the other world and talk, or physically take things, but at this point we're still only able to communicate through the CB radio. Yeah,
we've been listening.
It's true.
Now we're communicating.
Yep.
One day we might be able to touch.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
It'll be a day for science, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Out of all those worlds, what world would you want to touch so far?
I think last week's world was pretty interesting.
Yes, I definitely want some of that candy.
Right. Whatever he is taking, I want some.
Yes. Not vegan world, though.
Not vegan world. Vegan world seemed kind of sad and strange.
Yes.
Barbarian world seemed dangerous.
I don't think I could win in that world.
Nope. And what was the first world we went to? We've been to so many.
Science world.
Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Perfect world was kind of strange.
Yeah.
Very strange.
Didn't really have anywhere to go.
No, it was very strange. So I think my last week's world is my choice.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so this week I found another world, and it's actually it's more of another dimension than another world.
Yeah.
It seems that like in the DC universe they have Earth 2 or Earth 1. Mm-hmm. It seems like that's the Earth 2 to our Earth Prime.
Mm-hmm.
And I set up an interview with myself on that world. So
right. It's only fair that we talk to you.
Yeah.
Yesterday we spoke to me.
Yesterday? You mean last week?
Time
time.
What is it? Yeah.
It's temporary.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I'm thinking, like you said, in all fairness, we should maybe talk to me, and it'll be nice to maybe have you interview this time.
Yeah. What do we know about this world at all?
It seems exactly like our world, from what I understand. I mean, I only talked to myself for like 10-15 minutes. I seemed really keen about talking, but just from what I understood, maybe it was just like a little bit darker, but like maybe a little bit more film noir or a little bit more like Zack Snyder dark, but nothing too strange.
Yeah, you were wearing black and white.
Yeah, I mean, I usually wear black anyways. I'm wearing a dark gray right now, so not a real difference.
Not a real difference. So anyways, shoveling in the AOL discs.
Yep.
Pop, pop, pop.
Yeah.
Turning the dials.
Turning the dials. Beep, boop, boop.
Typing.
Typing.
Earth that is not ours.
Yes.
Type that in.
Earth 2. I labeled it Earth 2.
Okay, yes, I see that. I flick the switch, and we'll see that in 3, 2, 1. Are you there?
Hello?
Are you there?
Is this Earth 1?
Yes, we have contact.
Hello, I'm Adam.
Adam!
Yes.
Adam, so nice of you to be here. Yeah, we've talking.
We've
yes.
talking? Yeah.
Yes, on our Earth we don't speak the English too well.
I see that. There.
But anyways, this is about you. So
yes, it is.
You're from a different Earth.
Well, you're from a different Earth.
Yes, I'm from a different Earth. I'm an alien. You're an alien.
It's true.
I just told you the top 3 things that makes us different.
Yeah.
What makes you different?
Well, that's a good question. I spent some time talking to your Adam the other day, and he was talking about this new movie, Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Yes.
We also had a movie that came out pretty recently, but it was called Vulture.
Oh? You mean the villain?
No. I think you mean the hero. Vulture was the hero, and Spider-Man was the villain.
Oh, that's a reversal. It's like looking into a mirror. So what does Vulture do?
So the Vulture is, he's just trying to provide for his family, and like this government agency like comes in and tries to like stop him, and so he has to take matters into his own hands, as we all would, and if you have to break a couple of eggs to make an omelet, so be it. The ends justify the means, and sure, some people get hurt, but in the end, the Vulture is victorious.
And that was one of the things you said about your world, is that vigilantes are not only common, but they're honored. You'll be outside of your apartment, and a man in a black mask will come with and do put justice into his own hand, take out a criminal,
It's true.
cripple him, and then you'll kind of give him cookies.
Yeah, by criminal you mean, of course you mean not someone that is robbing a bank or something like that, because that's normal.
Right.
Like a criminal in our world would be someone that is helping his neighbor out, or maybe like delivering a pie to an orphan or something.
Gosh. I dropped my stuff in fear.
Oh, I thought that was a villain outside the door. I got scared really.
So you're telling me that the people that help on your world are the villains?
Of course, if you can't trust yourself, like why would you trust someone else?
Yeah. Valid. The sort of things that we look for on Earth, especially a lot of the protesters, is about love trumping hate.
What is protesting?
When you don't like something, you complain and argue with the sign.
That seems very moronic. Why? What does that actually solve anything?
What is your when something's bad or or just, I guess? How do you stop it from being just?
When we have like someone in charge that wants to, I don't know, create health care for everyone or something ridiculous like that, we riot.
We riot. Rioting.
Rioting.
We slightly know that is, but we don't like rioting.
Why? Isn't that the most effective way?
People get hurt. Windows break.
Well, you see, back when my country got started, there's a group of people led by George Washington. You know, a fact about George Washington, he always lied. And when he one time he cut down this cherry tree, and his dad like came over and asked him, hey, did you cut down that tree? George Washington just hit him with the axe.
That is a little bit funnier, but but the point is, we grew up on morals.
What are morals?
It's when you do things that help your brother out.
Why? Why would you want to help someone when you can just help yourself?
It's kind of hard to explain. It's like you see a guy and he needs a sandwich. And in our world, we say you need a sandwich, so here you go.
So you just give him your sandwich?
Yes. While on your world, you
would just keep the sandwich because he's probably trying to steal it from you.
Okay, but what if he needs the sandwich?
Well, if he needs the sandwich, he should try harder to get my sandwich.
I can't argue with that. I guess not.
Your rule seems very illogical.
Yeah. Well, laugh at it as you may. We have many moral people here.
Such as who?
Many innocent. Well, we have a guy we call the president, and he's trying to make laws and rules that will help people.
What is your president's name?
His name is Donald Trump.
Our president's name is Donald Trump too.
No way!
Yeah, it's crazy.
Small world.
Yeah. Does he have really small hands in your world too?
Yes. Very small hands.
Yeah, is he pretty misogynistic on your world?
Yeah.
Well, it seems that we have this weird similarity.
Right. Okay, so maybe your world isn't so bad.
I guess. Maybe. I don't know. He keeps trying to take away healthcare, as we should. Our last president was too altruistic. And we're righting wrongs here in our world. We do take a few steps back with our last administration, and hopefully going forward, our new president, and we'll make some strides, hopefully.
So what would you say to my world that has orphan centers?
What?
Yes, of unharmed orphans.
What?
And we have people that will feed the poor. What would you do with that?
Well, first of all, that's a sign of insanity. Like, that's why would you do that? But second of all, the only time that that happens on our world is when someone is, trying to take advantage of the orphans. Whether do you guys have Cinderella on your world?
Yes.
So
yes.
Cinderella is a story of this wonderful stepmom who brings in this really bratty child who only wants to be a princess, right?
Yes.
And instead of letting her buy into that false reality, she teaches her the meaning of hard work, and she becomes a productive member of society.
Well, that's not so bad.
Yeah, but at the end of the story, as Cinderella goes to the ball and she, against her mother's wishes, she realizes that there's no such thing as a happy ending, and she jumps off a cliff.
Oh, wow, that went south quick. So I'm starting to notice a vibe where your world is about pain, loss, and destruction.
Reality.
Yes, reality. And our world has that too, but we're always trying to get rid of it.
How? Why?
Because I guess it makes us smile when there's no pain. The warm sunshine on a sunny day.
It's very strange.
The smile from a child, the giggle of a puppy.
What? Puppies laugh on your world?
Yes.
That's very strange.
Yes, they laugh, and we just enjoy ourselves. And I mean, I think your world could use some, sprucing up, some happiness.
I guess. I mean, do you guys have Keep Calm and Carry On your world?
Yes, it's something I've made millions of dollars on, putting on coin purses.
Okay. Well. On our world, we say keep calm and carry on, usually meaning like if you're robbing a jewelry store, or if you're you've just knocked over an old lady and stole her candy, keep calm and you carry on with what you were doing.
Yeah.
So we too have hope.
Yeah. The hope to continue.
Yes.
Crime.
It's not crime.
virtue.
Not virtue. It's self-preservation, Mike.
Self-preservation. Oh my gosh. So tell me, did you have a Martin Luther King Jr. on your world?
Of course, yeah. We had a Martin Luther King Jr.
What did he do?
Oh, he was the best. He, he gathered a group of like-minded people, and he wanted to change the world for the better. He dreamed of one day when people of all race and all color could riot together in the streets.
Oh, I saw that coming.
And
Okay.
he inspired a generation of people to rebel and fight in the streets. And to this day, we have a day in honor of him called Martin Luther King Day. Do you guys have that?
We do. It's where we show harmony to one another.
Oh, yeah, us too. And we come together and we burn effigies of people that we don't agree with.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, I'm starting to get this vibe a little bit more. It's a little more concrete. You wouldn't like this world that we live in of virtue.
It sounds like a weak world.
Yeah.
Sounds weak.
You probably want to leave this world. And I understand that if you don't want to come into it and do anything.
What do you mean? Go into your world?
Yeah.
Why would I want that? That sounds
awful. I know it would sound awful, and there would be all these orphans to exploit, and all these old ladies where you could rob, and all these unsuspecting jewels stores.
Mike, it sounds like your world is ripe for the picking.
Whoa! I did not mean that. I think you're misunderstanding what it is I'm saying. You wouldn't want that.
Mike, I think this is perfectly clear. It seems I only have one course of action.
You wouldn't want to harm the puppies, the toddlers, the orphans.
Mike, I'm gonna bring this up to my government, but I have a feeling I'll be seeing you shortly.
All right. I noticed you sharpened a knife as you were saying that.
Oh, many knives. Many knives.
You actually have a knife between each finger.
It's true. I call it a Logan.
Oh my gosh! And you're sharpening it, and
true.
and you licked it. Okay.
Put the lotion in the basket, Clarice.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, this was a great time. Thank you for coming.
It's true.
Oh, by the way, is there a mic on your world?
Oh, yes. Oh, he's the overlord.
Oh, gosh.
Trump might be the president, but Mike is overall.
Oh, Lord. Okay, so, I'm gonna...
Oh, you know Mike, too?
Yes, I'm the Mike of the world.
You are nothing compared to him. You are weak.
Oh, well, thank you. I guess thank you is in order for that. But I'm going to hit the button now. Thank you for coming on our show. Good luck with your endeavors.
It was your pleasure.
And I'm just glad that this is over.
That's
right.
What you think.
And we are done.
Man, that was...
Woo!
What just happened, Mike?
First, disappointed that you did not stick up.
I honestly was afraid. It was very strange.
It seems like when there's only two of us, and then a third person comes in, you get afraid.
Mike, I'm sorry. Like, have you ever seen an evil version of yourself?
I saw the most wonderful version of myself last week.
Yeah, well, I saw the exact opposite.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what you want from me, Mike, but that was terrifying.
It was terrifying, and I can safely say that in honor of the fact that we've never met the same person twice, that we'll never be seing this person again.
Right. And otherwise, based on that history, those might be famous last words, but I'm pretty confident.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there are going to be a reoccurring conflict within our show, in which we must overcome adversity to beat these characters. I don't think that would...
Right. That would be too heavy-handed.
That would be too much for our show, which is very lighthearted.
Exactly. So, quickly moving on.
Yes.
I'm uncomfortable, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm going to sleep tonight.
The same way I do on my millions of dollars.
What?
From your keep calm and carry on business.
Business, yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You were there in 1940 during the Blitz.
Yes. It was a hard time for us all.
Oh yeah.
And by hard time for us all, I mean those who gave their life, but not me, because I'm sleeping on the money that's being made from it.
Right. Exactly. So what's next on our agenda, Mike?
Well, I wanted to talk to you about a top 5.
Yes. Usually I come up with a top 5, but this week you were excited.
I was excited.
We haven't talked music in a while.
Right. And this is a rare top 5 because it's, if you think about it, when you're listening to an album, you could like a majority of songs, but there's always that one song
One or two, yeah.
where you're like, I don't really care much for this song.
It's true.
But rarely does it come where you listen to a whole album and you're like, I loved every single song on that list.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, no, actually, you say that, but I have a lot of albums that I like. I like music. I'm a connoisseur, and I have a lot of honorable mentions. So hopefully, maybe we don't share the same. But definitely, I do appreciate the toughness of that. I think it's very rare for an album to be good cover to cover.
Yeah. And I'm stubborn, so I'll fall in love with Skillet.
Yeah.
And put all my hopes and dreams in the band. And then if they're not rocking by track 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
you're
I'd
done.
be so disappointed.
You're done. Yeah.
So disappointed. I gave Skillet my heart, and they fried it up.
So safe to say, Skillet isn't on your list.
Yeah, Skillet's not on my list.
Oh, I got it. They fried up because they're
yes, not after that.
Boo.
That comatose album.
Yes.
They lost me.
Yes. So yeah, let's get into it. So Mike, what is your number 1 album or your number 5 or whatever?
Oh yeah.
I forget how you count down.
Just going down the list.
Okay.
I want to bring up a good friend.
Yeah.
Whose testimony I love, but whose music I adore.
Oh shoot.
Brian Head Welsh.
I don't know who that is.
He is the lead guitarist of Korn. He's kind of the brainchild behind a lot of Korn's greater riffs. Well, this Brian Welch became a Christian. Came out with some albums that are completely metal. Completely rocking. And his band that he started, and I have to give it to him, he could be making money by naming the band after himself, but he calls the band Love and Death. And Love and Death has an album called Between Here and Lost. And every song has that iconic Brian Head Welch anguish, but with the coolness of his faith weaving in between. So he talks a lot about his drug past, and it's all done to some of the best guitar chords I've ever heard.
Yes.
So
that's amazing. Going in the opposite direction, my number 5 is 1989 by Taylor Swift. We all knew it was coming.
Yes.
I mean,
why that album? Why not the Red?
Red is good. 1989 is better. I think across the board, it won a Grammy for Album of the Year. I'm just gonna read through. It also won Best Pop Vocal, and the first 2 singles were nominated for Record and Song of the Year. Let's see. They had 7 singles. They all reached number 1. All 7 of the singles reached number 1. Shake It Off, Blank Space, Style, Bad Blood, Wildest Dreams, Out of the Woods, and New Romantics all reached number 1. It's a fantastic album. Taylor Swift really comes into her own, and it's written by some of the by some great people, Taylor included, but it's just really well done. So yeah, 1989, my number 5.
So, you mentioned a pop star, and they're well known for putting tracks all over the radio, which makes me always wonder about their non-radio tracks. So if I said, how do you feel about the How You Get the Girl, which is track 10?
Yes.
Is that a great song?
Not only is it a great song, I have it downloaded on my Spotify.
Okay.
So it's permanently saved. And so the album has 13 songs.
Yes.
7 of those went number 1. But Welcome to New York is great. Blank Space, obviously number one. Style, number one. Out of the Woods, number one. But Out of the Woods is written by also one of my favorite artists. I forgot his. Is it Out of the Woods? I'm not really sure. It was written by. Well, they think it's about.
Is it about
Harry
that
Styles.
musical?
Harry Styles, but no, it's written by one of the guys from Fun, not the lead singer, not Nate Roos, but one of the other guy. I forgot his name. This is so bad. Jack Antonoff was a writer for 1989, and one of the several of the songs. So you just know that with just so much talent going into it, that it's just a great album. If you haven't checked it out by now, you're living under a rock.
So,
you need to check it out.
So if I just pick this random track and I hit play, you can tell me that you'll thoroughly enjoy it. Of course.
Yes, I'm saying that I love 1989 so much that I have Polaroid pictures from the CD release. I've inspired Okay, so to give you a picture of how good 1989 is, my friend Eric Boyce, who is currently in a band called Outside Voices, who is a pop punk band, and they're touring and they're playing shows, so you should check them out if you live anywhere in New York. But who is a genre of music that is very opposite of 1989. Loves that album. He plays it all the time. He bought the CD. He has it on vinyl. It's that good.
Oh gosh. Okay.
I can't talk enough. And that's my number 5, Mike.
That's your number 5.
That's
So it only
5.
gets better.
It only gets better from here.
Okay, wonderful. So that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever liked a pop album, though I did like the original Fun album.
Okay. Ready, Aim, Fire?
Yes. That one, that's my honorable mention right there.
Well, in the interest of honorable mentions, I'll throw in Green Day's American Idiot. That'll be an honorable mention for me. I think cover to cover is great. It's so good they made a Broadway musical out of it.
It's so punk.
It's so great. But yeah, you couldn't go anywhere in 2002, 2003, whenever it came out without hearing it. So
yeah.
You're number 4.
Moving on.
Yes.
Going down the metal path to Chevelle. Wonder What's Next.
I don't know any of these bands, Mike.
Chevelle?
No.
Oh my goodness.
I don't listen to that music, I guess.
Let me just talk to the audience.
Yes, do it.
You know what Chevelle is, right? Right. They're a rocking trio of metal artists from Detroit.
What?
Who absolutely blow our faces off, right? I don't get it. What's with him? Okay.
Get out of here.
Anyways.
I'm right here.
Yeah. Chevelle. Wonder What's Next. They do, I don't know how to explain a non-Chevelle lover. But basically, a very simple band. They're 3 guys. They rely on heavy riffs, distortion, but the way they do it is very, very angsty, but not in a way that you feel kind of negative. Mm-hmm. In fact, a lot of Christians thought that they were a Christian band.
Okay.
And they accidentally went on a Christian label.
Accidentally?
Yes. They call themselves Recovering Catholics. But their metal album, Wonder What's Next, very thrashy, but also very well done. And it's, in today's metal age, it's so easy just to scream into a mic and just see how many chords you can hit. But they're not dirty like that. They're very systematic in their metal. Very, very angsty, but still very hopeful too. So I have to give it to him.
You have to give it to him. Mm-hmm. My number 4 is an album by the British UK band The Wombats.
The Wombats.
The Wombats. And it's an album called A Guide to Love, Loss, and Desperation. And this, if you're into indie garage rock, imagine imagine every garage band from. Imagine if the Foo Fighters, or imagine if Stone Temple Pilots or Queens of the Stone Age. Imagine that, but like meets the Rolling Stones. Imagine pop sensibility with garage band sound. But their single from that Let's Dance to Joy Division is wonderful. It's
oh my gosh, I've heard that song.
You probably have.
Yeah.
It's a great single, great song. It's across the board. There's a cover on it called of Leona Lewis's Bleeding Love. It's a great album, great song. If you're into, I more trend towards the pop punk kind of angsty, Weezer kind of Panic at the Disco, Fall Out Boy end of the genre of rock. And if you're into that, definitely check out the Wombats.
You see, and I find myself gravitating towards that pop, electronic, feel-good music.
Yep.
But I know every time I get one of their albums, there's always a middle track that just kind of sounds like blah, and I can never give them I can never get them on the top 5 list.
Yeah. So this one is definitely. I mean, this one definitely speaks to me, and I think that's what this list is all about. Like, I have my preferences, and I think you have yours.
Yeah,
I think
it seems like all my preferences are like Razor Edge, Ragin' Cajun music.
Yes.
Which my number 3 is POD's self-titled album, After Satellite. You know, oh, Youth of the Nation. They kind of went a more, dare I say it, metal. And it's a very fun album. It's very infectious rhythms and riffs. And like each song is kind of a blow your face off song. You got, Sonny's vocals. And they switched out the guitarist and they used a more, dare I say it, metal guitarist.
I don't know anything about POD. You've said 3 people, and I've no idea who they are.
Well,
3 bands.
POD, Payable on Death. They came out.
Wait, what does POD stand for?
Payable on Death.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, another fun band. But I like their message, and I really like their self-titled album. So each track blew my face off just a little bit more than the last track.
Sure. Sure. Again, going to the opposite end of the spectrum. My number 3 is Ren Collective's The Art of Celebration.
What?
Yes. My favorite album from them. It just reads like a hit list of just amazing hipster worship songs. Joy, Burn Like a Star, My Lighthouse, More Than Conquerors, All That I Am, Immeasurably More. It just gets better and better. And on a couple of the albums they have live versions of My Lighthouse and some other stuff. But it really gets me into a worship attitude, and they're just fun. They're just a fun band. They have a great sound, and I think what I like most about them is it just lends itself to a bonfire. It just lends itself to a group of people engaging in corporate worship. So.
Like one of those guys that takes out a ukulele during a bonfire and says, I'm just going to leave this right here.
Yeah.
And then suddenly we're all singing.
Yes, My Lighthouse.
And all I wanted to do was eat a s'more.
Right, exactly. No, and what's great about it is because they use any and everything as instruments, you can use anything and everything as instruments. So it's great. The amount of times that I've been on like trips to retreats or coming back home from late night ice cream or whatever, and you're just banging on the car or or whatever
causing dents,
or just just making noise. It's just like it's a great song, and it's a great album. So check it out, Art of Celebration, Ren Collective.
You know what? Ren Collective has nothing.
Nothing has nothing. They just have nothing.
No, I forgot the phrase. Nothing
on.
Oh gosh, they're not like this band.
Okay.
The joke was Speaking of Rend Collective,
Yes.
No Doubt's Tragic Kingdom.
What the heck?
No Doubt's sophomore release in the
Uh-huh.
90s.
Uh-huh.
With such hits as Just a Girl, Sunday Morning, the Tragic Kingdom hit, Don't Speak. All those songs made number one in their time. And I love Gwen Stefani's energy. I loved it when she was kind of a punk pop.
Princess?
Punk pop princess. But still had that credibility that, could take her into the alternative scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think she was... that band definitely laid the groundwork for bands like Paramore to come.
Yeah.
And to show that girls have a space in the alternative scene, which was so long dominated by your Nirvanas and
Yes.
your Foo Fighters and your Stone Temple Pilots or whatever.
Yeah. So I remember when that was on cassette.
Oh, gosh.
So I got that on cassette. And I'd play side A, then you go to side B.
Mm-hmm.
And like back then you had side A and side B on cassettes, which in my mind I used to compare the two. Like, why is side B special?
Right, Why is the B-side better?
Yeah, when it was just something that was just split in half. But but yeah, it's No Doubt's Tragic Kingdom got me through the 90s.
So for my number 2, I have another pop album, but I'm surprised that that you don't have any pop hits on yours. It's ridiculous. But it's the One album by the Beatles.
The One album.
Yes, come on. So I know technically it's a compilation of their number 1 hits, but it is 27 songs of just hit after hit after hit. Like, okay, so number 1 is Love Me Do, From Me to You, She Loves You, I Want to Hold Your Hand,
Help.
Can't Buy Me Love, A Hard Day's Night, I Feel Fine, 8 Days a Week, Ticket to Ride, Help, Yesterday, Day Tripper, We Can Work It Out, Paperback Writer, Yellow Submarine, Eleanor Rigby, Penny Lane, All You Need Is Love, Hello Goodbye, Lady Madonna, Hey Jude, Get Back, The Ballad of John and Yoko, Something, Come Together, Let It Be, and The Long Winding Road. Right? Like, that is it. And I know it's a compilation album, and technically it's all their popular songs, but I no regrets. This is probably one of the best albums of all time. They did release it as a standalone album, and it is if you want to listen to the band that single-handedly moved music into the 21st century, you need to listen to the number 1 or album 1 by the Beatles. They revolutionized pop music. They revolutionized songwriting. They revolutionized pop sensibility. They revolutionized connecting the world by music. Like there's never been a band like the Beatles.
Yeah. And my favorite Beatles album is Greatest Hits from 1960 to 1965, which was a cassette that I took from my mom.
Yeah, no, the Beatles are great. I love the Beatles, and I regret nothing about picking a compilation album. Yes. This is my list, darn it, and I can do whatever I want.
My favorite Monkees album is Monkees' Greatest Hits, which is all their songs. Yeah,
I regret nothing.
Yeah. So, which brings us to number 1, which belongs not quite as high up as the One album, but just as influential, just as pivotal to our culture.
Yeah.
Especially in the 90s, when a trio of no good doers decided to step away from the hair metal and started to do reckless alternative. And they created Nirvana's Nevermind.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes. A song of raunchy energy that's so infectious, so addicting, that if you grew up in my time, that was the background, that was the soundtrack of your life. It was the song of rebellion. It was the song of, I don't care.
Right.
And the fact that they did it with such skill, and no one had heard a song like that before. I mean, there was some primitive alternative,
Mm.
but nothing quite like Nirvana.
Right. Nirvana burst that onto the scene, and yeah, I mean, can you look out a school bus window without listening to without thinking of like Lithium, or without thinking of whatever like Heart-Shaped Box or Come As You Are,
Yeah.
like,
And whenever there's a Rock Band game, Guitar Hero game, I go straight to Come As You Are, to the Drain You song on Rock Band 2, Smells Like Teen Spirit. I can't say the same about Soundgarden. Like, somewhere in the middle of the album,
Yeah.
I don't really follow what they're doing, but Nirvana is like hit after hit.
It's true. Yeah, Nirvana's great, and even now when they pull out like random studio recordings, they're so good.
Yes.
They're just good throughout. Okay, and I think it's kind of funny that we the last two albums that we talked about, those were actually world influencers and changed music scene, but this is our personal favorite albums, and and this is my favorite band, Relient K.
Relient K.
And there are so many albums that I loved: Forget Not, Slow Down, The Anatomy of Tongue in Cheek. If you ask me outside of this list what my favorite CD or compilation from them is, it would actually be the Apathetic EP. There's only like 4 or 5 songs on it, and they do a lot of acoustic covers. But because it's an EP, I was like, can't pick it. It's not an album. So my favorite album is actually
that one is good. I'd say that's an honorable mention for me.
Yes, I would say 5 years ago, if purely for Deathbed, but they have Crayons Can Melt on Us for All I Care, which is a 6-second song where they just sing, I just wasted 7 seconds of your life, and I can't get on board with that.
Yes.
As hilarious as it is, I do not appreciate that. Looking at you, Relient K and Matt Beeson.
The sad thing is, on iTunes, that track is probably $1.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
No, 100%. But yeah, so favorite Relient K album. I if that comes on, I can sing through every single song. It starts with the one I'm waiting for, Be My Escape, Hive 75, I So Hate Consequences. The only thing worse than beating a dead horse is betting on one.
Yes.
A Girl's Ex-Boyfriend.
May the horse be with you.
Right. That's her self-item. More Than Useless, Witcherberry, Us or the Hatchet. Who I Hate's Who Have Been. So it's all great, all good, and really formative for my teenage years, because 2004 was right around when I was growing up at that age. Unlike you, I'm just growing up in 1994.
Yeah. I'm feeling an age gap where I'm like
maybe a little.
The classic rock of No Doubt and Nirvana.
Yep.
And you're like Wombats, Bleachers.
Yeah, Bleachers.
Man. Nate Roos.
That Nate Roos.
Crazy band of swingers.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it's important that those people came out. I think it's important that Foo Fighters and No Doubt and all those people paved the way for kind of an alternative pop sound into the early 2000s and into now. I would say we still see the effect of the alternative scene. It's so important.
Yeah. I just hope that the alternative music didn't get lost in Seether, Hoobastank, Creed, Nickelback. I hope they didn't steal it, because they took the energy out of it.
Yeah, no, they really did, and but I think that there's hope now, and but for some of my honorable mentions that I didn't maybe quite like as much as the other ones, but like I think the Arctic Monkeys are carrying that torch with their album AM, or even bands like the White Stripes or the Black Keys. I think they're still holding that torch strong for the alt scene. And even I think Weezer. I think I would say that Weezer is so old and timeless, almost like the Foo Fighters, that they were there at the start of that scene, but they're still strong and making music.
They've never changed.
Like, Weezer, yeah, it's great.
They never change with the times. They're still their first album.
That's so great. Yeah, I saw them in concert the other last summer.
Oh yeah.
And they have not changed. They played Buddy Holly, and it sounds like they're playing Buddy Holly. Yeah. Do you have some other honorable mentions that you were thinking about?
Well, in terms of worship, I would have to say there's only one worship singer who like just melts me and puts me in this hypnotic daze.
Yeah.
Where it's dangerous because anything he could say
Right.
might accidentally be worshipped.
Mm-hmm.
But just because I was made to love creamy voices.
Oh, no.
He has a creamy voice.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, his name is Will Regan.
Okay.
And I keep liking him and I keep following his career. But like, there's not too many people who know of him.
Mm.
And
I'm one of them.
yes. Like if I said, oh, he was part of that band, the United Pursuit.
Maybe.
No. See, no one knows. So it could be a band I made up.
Right. 100%.
Wishful thinking.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. A couple Queen's jazz album, great album. Let's see, and I had to get a Mumford and Sons album in here. Not any of their popular releases, but there's a concert album called The Road to Red Rock, where they it's an outdoor venue, but they just it's a wonderful album. Check it out. It's a live album. They play probably more of their hits, kind of like the Beatles album, but
right.
it's magical. It's really good.
Yeah, I like Anne Boleyn's "Never Take Friendship Personal." Their self-titled album was pretty good. I'd put that on the honorable list.
Nice.
Five Iron Frenzy.
Yes. Oh my gosh, we didn't talk about Five Iron Frenzy.
Five Iron Frenzy.
Yes.
There's some albums that are good through and through, and I have to say they're The End album.
The End, yeah.
Yeah, The End is here or near.
Five Iron Frenzy. I'm disappointed in myself that I didn't think about them. But
and Electric Boogaloo.
Electric Boogaloo. My personal favorite is our newest album ever.
Yeah.
I think I had definitely that, or Beats and Beats Down. I mean, that's their first album, but it's great. It's really good. Definitely check them out. I saw them live in Syracuse for $5.
Yes, we all. I think we've went over the story where you struck dirt.
Yeah, right.
Or oil or gold,
yeah.
dirt to gold.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Yeah,
great concert. But yeah, also I gotta throw 21 Pilots in there. Their first album, 21 Pilots.
Mm-hmm.
Gold.
Yeah.
So,
right.
Good music discussion.
Good music discussion.
I feel like music tells what kind of music a person likes. Really, speaks to who they are as a person. I think what kind of drives them or what motivates them or what they like, what they fear.
If you could sum up today's top 40 pop hits / what the kids are listening to, what would that sound like?
What would that sound like? Hillsong United. No. I don't know. It's I think we live in a time where it's really weird, where you have like Justin Bieber currently, I think it's probably currently his number one hit, the Despacito, whatever.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm saying it wrong, kids. But it's this weird thing where he has taken already a Latin pop hit, and he's put some English lyrics over it, essentially repurposed it, and now has a number one English language hit. So I don't know if that says anything about the modern mainstream pop, where it's like these kind of recycled songs that are that, you know, just like a repurposing of just everything that makes a song good, but like all thrown together and trying to be as pandering as possible.
So in pop music, you had late 90s with Britney Spears,
Backstreet
Boys, and it was all about "Girl, I Want to Love You."
Sure.
And then early 2000s, you got it a little bit more revealing, like "Girl, I Want to Do the Following Things to You."
Right.
And now in the teens, we have the guys who evolve from that. They're like, I don't even really care about you.
Right.
What we did doesn't even mean anything. And so I think it's going to go, it went from, it's like an arc. No one
Yeah.
saw that, but
Right.
an
Yeah,
arc
I was like, this is great
where
podcasting.
love and romanticism and sensuality. And so, I don't care. Get away from me. I might like you, but it doesn't mean anything.
Right.
I'd rather do heroin.
Right. Yeah.
Looking at you, Weekend.
Weekend.
Yeah, and I think it's if somehow you were to, you'd have a song where he doesn't really care about someone, but he'd be willing to go all the way. That's, and you call him Jason Mendez.
You're really with the kids.
Yes, I know. You should hire me, Pop Warner, or
What?
one of those music labels.
Yeah. No, that's fair. But I mean, to be fair, like Nirvana definitely sings about and talks about not so positive things either.
Of course. And, I will not justify their message. They're absolutely about, I don't care. Life's short. I'm going to do what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who gets in the way. We're coming back to it.
Yeah.
But we're adding a synth beat.
We're adding a synth beat.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Drake. We're adding Drake.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, and honestly, I would say across the board, what is popular music, and I think country music actually is the worst perpetrator of this. But this idea of creating such a broad general music and branding that it's just pandering. So they're creating music specifically for an audience instead of just creating music as an art.
Right.
Like Nirvana wasn't making music for anyone but themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But like you take Justin Bieber, Justin Aldean, or whoever it is, and they're gonna reference Coca-Cola, the American way, a pickup truck, a lonely road, and
I put my hands up.
Right, exactly. So it's like pop music and country music and all these things.
Yeah.
They're pandering to an audience, and it's no longer art. It's no longer music. It's just pandering.
Yeah, our data shows, Miley, that if you come out with an edgy song that makes parents uncomfortable,
Right.
it'll raise your stock.
Right.
3 points.
Right. Like
Yeah.
like
And
you would
suddenly she's wearing a diaper on a music video.
Right. Yeah, it's Paul McCartney is like, I don't know, like I was gonna say Paul McCartney is rolling in his grave, but he's not dead yet.
Yes.
Praise God. But
Rolling in his life
like,
tube.
yeah, in his life tube. What is Paul McCartney up to these days? But Paul McCartney, like, pioneered like writing, and like I think the age when an artist writes all their own songs and writes and all their music is purely original and purely creative is gone in the mainstream. I think there are a lot of indie artists that are doing really good things, like Chance the Rapper or whoever it is, like you name it, and they're gonna do it.
Well, yeah, in the 1950s, they'd get 3 writers to write the song for the newest band. And it's funny, you could see how music changed. Like, a singer would sing, my Savior up in heaven, he makes me feel so much joy. And then they take the same exact beat and they'd say that my boyfriend down the street, he gives me such warm feelings. And so, yeah, it's been commercialized since the early 50s.
No, definitely. Yeah, and I would agree. But it's kind of sad to see the state of mainstream music.
Yeah. Well, back off, haters.
Back off, haters.
Yeah.
But so there's a comedian, I don't know if you know, his name is Bo Burnham. You heard of Bo Burnham? He's really funny. Also, like, if you're under the age of maybe 18, maybe don't listen to Bo Burnham
or over the age
of 18. But I think he makes a really valid point. He has a song called about country music, but I feel like it applies to like a lot of things. And I'm just gonna read what he says, the PG stuff. But he says, where instead of people actually telling stories, You got a bunch of millionaires that have never done a hard day's work in their life, but they figured out the words and phrases they can use to pander to their audience, and they list the same words and phrases off, sort of Mad Lib style, raking in millions of dollars from actual working class people. And you know the words and you know the phrases. Phrases like a dirt road, a cold beer, blue jeans, pickup truck, rural noun, a simple adjective, no shoes, no shirt. I walk in a field. I walk and talk like a field hand. I put boots, but the boots I'm wearing cost $3,000. I write songs about riding tractors from the comfort of a private jet. So, like...
There's 2 songs about how a man loves his tractor.
Yeah. Like that's too many.
Yeah.
That's one too many. Like, there's just too many.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, like, and I don't mean to, like, come across as, like, just coming really hard on country music there, but I think that what Bo Burnham is saying there is true across a lot of music.
Yeah, so true. It's packaged experience.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah.
Which makes me want to be a writer for music.
Right, it'd be super easy.
Miley, your next song is Roman's Road. All right. So,
We got a game?
We have a game.
Yes.
All right. This is going to be like a creative brainstorming game.
Mm-hmm.
And, I like putting you on the spot.
Yes.
So, I took a bunch of phrases that could be kitchen tools. And I took a bunch of words that could be superhero titles.
Yes.
And for the kitchen tools, you got to tell me what kind of superhero that would make.
Yes.
And for the superheroes, you got to tell me what kind of kitchen tool that would make. So, the scooper.
The scooper. He would be a big, powerful man. He would have big arms, and his thing would be lifting and throwing things. Almost like he would like scoop them up and then toss them over his head.
He's good at just getting you out of the way.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Meat hammer.
Meat hammer. Is this a superhero or is this a kitchen tool?
It's a tool. Kitchen tool.
Okay. I knew that. It would, ironically, it'd be like this little tiny person, and he would have a really big hammer, and he would almost be pretty comical because he couldn't always like lift his hammer. He'd like lift and like kind of wobble off to the side.
He's ineffective.
He's pretty ineffective.
Yeah. He's the Mr. Bean of heroes.
Exactly.
Meltdown.
It would be a method of rapidly getting your fondue party ready.
Yes. You melt down the chocolate.
Yes.
Melt down the cheese. The baster.
The baster? Is that a superhero?
Superhero,
or is that...
yes.
The baster. Oh my gosh. You just like inject people with things?
Maybe poison.
Or who knows?
Yeah. Let's see. The strainer.
The strainer. He would have the ability to he could change matter, right?
Yes.
He'd be able to pick out specific parts that he would want and take it out of an object, or put objects that he wants into things. He'd be able to strain things.
Oh man, I totally had him pegged as a guy who holds it in till the very last second.
Yes.
All right. The Uranian.
The what?
The Uranian.
Oh man. What a terrible superhero that would be.
Yeah.
This is more for the adventure food seekers.
Those who like to eat
but
chemicals.
he uses different animal urine to flavor your favorite dishes.
Yeah. So we're talking about that survival man.
Yes, exactly.
The CRISPR.
The CRISPR. Yes. He great superhero, the best superhero. He enjoys just frying things, you know?
Yeah.
He just, you're done with church on a Sunday, he's like, come on over, I got...
So he's a kitchen tool as well.
Yes.
Right.
No. He's a kitchen tool in the fact that he's a tool and he's in the kitchen.
Yes.
Because, he's just talking about how all these, even if he goes to a potluck, he's always criticizing someone else's things. But
Crisped.
crisp.
You got burned.
You got burnt, but he he's tasteful with what he does. He doesn't no oily food. It's fried but tastefully.
Yes. Riptide.
Riptide. If you ever just been really trying to preserve a lunch, preserve Thanksgiving dinner, and the Ziploc baggie you have just happens to tear. Well, there's one man you call to come save you. Riptide.
And his tool.
Yes.
Sink drain.
Sink drain. Sink drain. Have you ever just been like peeling potatoes in your sink and you accidentally knock over your colander? We've all been there, right?
Yeah.
Who are you gonna call to come fix that?
A very literal superhero.
That's very. He takes a page out of Batman's book. He's a millionaire and multi-billionaire, and studied plumbing from ancient Greece to the Mesopotamians.
Yes.
And if he can't unclog your drain, you didn't want that drain unclogged in the first place.
Yeah. The alien race, the Clog.
Yes, exactly.
Fights him.
Yes.
All right. Shark Boy.
Shark Boy? Oh, man. He, besides starting the summer in his epic race against Michael Phelps.
Yes.
During Shark Week, Shark Boy has his own luau-themed restaurant in San Diego. It's a swim-up bar and grill, and featuring things like ahi tuna and stuff like that.
Doesn't he have a product where he puts soy sauce on any seafood?
Yes.
You just need the Shark Boy.
You just
need
need
squirts
right.
from the Shark Boy.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Chopsticks.
Chopstick. Brought to you by Shark Boy.
What's Chopsticks? That's a superhero.
Oh, Chopsticks!
Yes.
That was a super... Okay.
Yes.
He would just run around on stilts.
He runs around on stilts. Oh my gosh.
That's it. That's all he does.
I can see DC having this guy in the 70s.
No, I swear there's a guy named Stiltman.
Yes.
Isn't... hold on. I gotta find this.
Oh, yeah. Daredevil fights him.
Yeah.
Stiltman. His way of fighting back was just being really tall.
Right? Terrible. Yeah, he's a super villain appearing in Marvel comic books. Worst superhero villain ever. Besides Bardock the Leaper.
Yeah.
Whose ability is to jump.
There was a man named the Eel who was... His power was he was slippery. So you couldn't, put your arms around him.
He was slippery! So he would just go commit crimes covered in Crisco?
Yeah, Daredevil would seriously struggle with him. He'd put his arms and he's like, I can't grab him. He's so slippery.
He's so slippery. Defeater of the hand. He can go one-on-one against Elektra. He's one of the best hand-to-hand combatants in the world. Can't take out the Eel.
Yes.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh man. Or one of Batman's infamous villains, Calendar Man.
Yes.
What?
Oh, yes.
Such a bad villain.
Yeah. Well, DC can twist it to be, he's got this dark neurosis.
Yeah. In the Arkham games.
Yeah. Marvel, not so much.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
if you had a dumb name,
yeah,
prepare to be dumb.
You were dumb forever.
Like Unicorn Man.
Unicorn Man. Yeah. Or, what was his name? He was in Suicide Squad. Slipknot?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he's a C-lister.
Definitely.
You know he was going to die.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Oh, what else? What other villain?
Terrible villains.
And some of them are making a comeback. Like the Purple Man.
Mm-hmm. Who's Purple Man?
Well, he was on Jessica Jones. He's not known as the Purple Man on the show.
Oh, okay.
I forget his name.
Played by Doctor Who?
What's
his name?
Doctor Who, Dave Tennant,
yeah.
Mr. Tennant. But he was always known as the Purple Man. And now that's a hero I can get behind.
Yeah.
And his Kilroy. I think
Kilroy, yeah.
Kilroy made me do it. That was a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, finally, superhero or kitchen tool? The roller.
The roller. Well, obviously it's a super villain, and he, much like the Ultimate Warrior, just squashes everyone in his path.
Yes.
No one stands a chance unless an A-list superhero comes
Yes.
by and beats him.
Unless someone who knows how to defend themselves.
Exactly. And can be lured away with money.
Yeah. What about the kitchen tool, the seductress?
The seductress? Well, have you ever been just really disappointed in a pudding, or really...
Yes!
Really?
All the time!
Have you ever been just disappointed in a bundt cake, and you just wish that you could, dash something on there really quick to just make it more delicious? Well, then the seductress is the kitchen tool for you.
I want it now.
It makes everything more unctuous. It gives it a certain je ne sais quoi.
Yes.
I think the Japanese call it umami.
I believe you. Oh yeah, I want one now. I can totally see this. There'd be hearts all over the bottle.
True.
Yeah. Well, that's our game. You too can play superhero or kitchen tool at home.
It's true.
Just go into your kitchen, take a list of everything you see,
Yes.
give it superpowers.
Right. Or just yell at your mom when she's making dinner.
Yeah. You'll get a date in no time.
No.
That's not related to yell at your mom.
Right.
Those are two independent statements. You'll get a date at a party
Right.
with someone you're not related to.
If you play
Yes,
the
if
game,
you play
not
the
if you
game,
yell at your mom.
Not if you yell at your mom.
If you yell at your mom, you're not in a position to want a date.
Yeah.
You should respect and love your mother.
Yeah. So, Adam, what did we learn today?
Mike, I learned many things. I learned that I know next to nothing about 90s metal.
No, I know. Like, I really think I should make you a mixtape.
Yeah?
You
a
make
mixtape,
me.
a Spotify playlist.
Yeah.
Do you have
Except I don't have Spotify.
What the heck,
Well,
Mike?
actually, I have Lexi's account. So
Ha!
that's what happens when you're MC.
Yes.
Milk it for all it's worth. Yeah, I just erase all our country. But
Yeah, gross.
yeah, what was I saying?
You're
Yes.
gonna make me a playlist?
Make you a
mixtape?
playlist, a mixtape, early 2000s, a CD.
Yes.
Yes, it'll be all like grunge.
Crunch.
And yours will be, a blank space.
What? Excuse me. No, I'll give you a taste of my childhood. There would be a lot of Fall Out Boy and Green Day and Paramore and maybe throw a couple of maybe some Train and some Plain White Tees in there.
But it couldn't be radio hits because I was there for the radio hits. These have to be non-radio,
Deep underground,
deep underground that hit you right here.
right in the feels.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I learned that when I make a top 5, it gets dark and edgy.
It's true. Much like Other Adam.
Yes. Yes. Oh no. Yeah. Well, yeah. I learned that there's a dark version of us.
It's true, and apparently you're an overlord.
I'm an overlord. I have a position that pays.
Yeah, right. What is that like?
Yeah. I don't know. I hope it's good health care.
Oh, there's good benefits.
Yeah, good benefits. Yeah.
Yeah. So this has been Mike and Adam's Dreams and Feelings.
I'm Mike.
And I'm also Mike.
And some of us are Adam.
If you believe in yourself hard enough.
If you believe in yourself,
You also can be Adam.
yeah. That one set of footprints
Yes.
is when Adam carried you.
Exactly. So thanks for listening. We love you. Come to our show.
Come to our show.
Bye.
Join the church. Goodbye.